Okay, class. Today we're going to cover a little bit more about objects. First off, I think last class or classes ago, we covered how to create your basic rectangle. So this lecture is how to create a rectangle we can more or less see. So our old school rectangle was essentially just a basic rectangle. Let me go ahead and see if I can't open the old one. Well, actually, we can just do this. I'll erase this guy here. All right, that'll do it. So this was effectively our old code, minus the little stuff we got at the top. We made a rectangle. We didn't have a color, of course, but we set the length, we set the width, and then we can just create some information here. I'm just going to run this here. And of course I have a little turtle thing popping up, but that's fine. That'll be for our object here in a minute. We have an area, we have, an actual perimeter of said rectangle. I created a rectangle that's 300 by 100, so 300 times 100 is 30,000, that's the area. Perimeter, there's 300 long, 100, 100, that's 800 around the perimeter. So I've created a rectangle here. Now we're going to add in some code here. And we're going to use Python's Turtle Graphics for this. And what I've got here is we have to import the Turtle Graphics package. And then I just create this item here that lets me actually use a little screen to draw shapes and various other things on the screen for me. Everything else is exactly the same. The major difference here is I'm going to go ahead and add a color option to the length and the width. So when we create this thing, we also have to pass a color, red, green, blue, black, that sort of thing. The first two lines are still the same. I'm just setting the length and the width of this particular object's attributes. This is where it changes. So I have this option to fill the color. And this is whenever I draw a shape and it's done, fill color will fill the inside of that shape with whatever color I want, in this case green. And I have to begin the fill, then I do all my drawing, and what I want to end the fill happens at the end of all that. So I'm going to draw my little turtle dot will be kind of in the center of my screen, and it's going to be pointed to the right for the most part, and this will draw the length, what I got, zoop, and then this turtle, you see it says left 90, it points the icon down 90 degrees, which is right angle, and then I draw forward the width, and I go down. Or actually, probably it's more like that. But 90 degrees, then I draw the length, I turn 90 degrees, I draw the width, 90 degrees, actually, I'm pretty sure it goes this way, sorry. So I will basically make a rectangle, whatever the lengths and things are. Once I finish making those, it will fill the screen, or fill the rectangle with a color, or square, or whatever it is I happen to have. I still have my other methods, functions here. I've got my print area, I've got my get perimeter, that doesn't really affect the drawing of this item. So I'm going to create a rectangle that is a 300 by 100, so 300 length, 100 width, and it's going to be green. So if I run this, there you go. It draws, goes up, draws, goes down. I'm in the center of the screen is where I start. We could change our location if we want. You see, it made me a green rectangle. So whenever I created this object, it created it here as well. Now if I come down here and adjust the color maybe, let's just say red, and I give it, let's go with 400 by 200 or something. we go. Now I've made a 400 by 200 rectangle, and it's red. And you'll see some stuff flash over here. That's the area and the there you go, perimeter, based on the new rectangle that I made. And of course, for this, I can move it around if I want to. It's just a little kind of graphics board for me to write on. But you kind of get the gist of it. Now, I wanted to make multiple like windows pop up, and I think I can, but I'm gonna have to like do a bit more work. It's kind of self-defeating to do as much work as I need to do that. But hopefully, you kind of get the idea. When I create these objects, it's an object. It's physically there. It has a size and weight and everything to it. Let me see, what other colors do we have here? How about pink? I wonder if pink is a color. Let's find out. There it is. There we go. I haven't looked at all the color sheets yet. So, but as you can see, it creates it given the size. It's a thing. If I were to liken this to a zombie in a game, well, I've created a zombie. Now it will walk across the screen and attack me until I kill it. Then it goes away. Then I can just make another one. Have it do whatever it needs to do until I'm done with it. So this is just kind of a short tutorial on how to create objects that we can actually visually see here. And of course, objects in games are a lot more complex, but this kind of gives you an idea, hopefully a little better idea, of when I make something, this rectangle, for example, it exists. It's there, even if you can't see it. It's there in memory. All that information is there. This just lets me visualize it a little bit, so I can see the thing that I just made. And that's your rough walkthrough of how to create a rectangle you can see.